Hello, Scorpio. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. All right, Scorp. Now, let me just be very clear about how I am reading this. When it comes to these readings, I am not looking at the perspective of another person looking at Scorpio. I am looking at Scorpio's perspective on what they are dealing with. And I just want to make that clear because I know a lot of people have issues with other signs, and I get that, but that doesn't mean that that's how all of them are. So, and I just want to make that clear before we start getting into this. So, Scorpio, you pulled prey, and this one is difficult here. Stalked, invaded, and watched. This is not about Scorpio stalking or invading anybody else. This is about what is happening to Scorpio. Okay. And then you have round and round. Prey is a difficult card because it talks about a situation with another person that is wanting to blame you for their own bad behavior. Okay. So you may feel like somebody is trying to hold you down, make you the victim, but it's saying that you have an opportunity now to stand up to this person and not to become their victim, right? Now, round and round is suggesting that this is nothing new to you. The thing though with this is it's saying that this time you're not going backwards, you're actually going forwards, even though it may seem like this is a repeat of what you've already experienced with someone in particular here. Okay? You're not going backward, you're standing at a higher position, and you're going to get a chance to look at this situation from a very different perspective so that you can close the cycle. So this is not a lesson that you need to continue to learn anymore. It's time for you to see that this situation needs to be done and over with. But it's only when you change your viewpoint on what is happening. So you may not see right now that someone in particular is beating you down in a way that is meant to make them feel better about themselves. That's basically what prey is. Like, let me take everything out on you. You are my punching bag now because my life is shit. But you're the one that's having to deal with somebody who is acting this way. But again, this is nothing new to you. You've been through this before with this person, but now it's time to close this out. It's done. It's over with. You don't need to keep learning this lesson. Right? Now, if this is about a relationship, again, I kind of go back to Dolores Cannon, right? When we talk about feeling like we have these contracts with people, rip up the fucking contract. If it is not working, get rid of it. Now, this could be you allowing other people, though, to prey on you, prey on, your emotions and make you feel horrible and make you feel weighted down. But this is a cycle that, you've been creating here, and it's about owning up to that now and closing it out. Now, this is what made me feel better about the entire situation, because it's one thing to have to go through a situation like that over and over again, but this is like confirmation that it's going to come to an end, right? So you have the full moon in Capricorn, the end of a rough cycle approaches. It made me feel so much better seeing this. So it says, release control and trust the universe. Don't try to control the situation anymore. Just give it up. It's like giving it up to God. Like, Jesus, take the wheel. Seriously. Because I need this to be out of my life. It says a professional project may be ending now. Admit if you've been overly hard-headed or hard-nosed. It says find a balance between your personal and private lives, and it's time to stop fearing the worst. So, any of those could apply to your situation here, but pray is what bothers me. Because how long have you been letting somebody drain you and try to keep you down or hold you back, right? Here's your overall. Very nice, very nice. The Ace of Cups, beautiful, beautiful. And we'll see how this opportunity is playing out. This being the overall here, everything that's going on around this, you're looking at an opportunity that could bring you emotional happiness, spiritual growth, being more spiritually in tune. And I say that because of prey. There's something supernatural about that one that bothers me. I always pick up on that part of it, right? But of course, that's not going to be for everybody. But the way that I relate to it as, I have something attached to me that's causing me problems right now, and I know I need to clear my space. That's the kind of feeling that I get from that. But anyway, the Ace of Cups is beautiful. So for a lot of you, it's going to be about needing to take advantage of a new opportunity that's going to bring you the emotional happiness and the fulfillment that you want. Could be new love, again, new spiritual connection, or it could just be something that you're starting new that you have a lot of love for. In the past, the Eight of Pentacles. So busting your ass, putting a lot of effort into something and working really hard. But you're looking at the amount of effort, I think, into what you've been doing, and we're not really reaching a completion here, but there is a new beginning. Do you need to continue the hard work? Do you need to kick yourself in the butt and keep going, right? Especially if this has to do with something that you're working on that you have love for, but we'll see here. Very nice. Very, very nice. So all of your hard work is paying off in a way where you're going to see security and stability, especially financially. One of the things that I talk about with the Eight of Pentacles, if we're talking about a work situation, right, you clearly know what you're doing, because we're not looking at the three here. You're talking about somebody that has refined their skills. They know what they're doing. They know what they're capable of, and they work really hard at it. But there's always the financial aspect that you see there. There's reward and benefit to the hard work, and it's showing up here with the Ten of Pentacles. Now, we could definitely be talking about a lot of hard work that's been put into a situation involving your home. You could be working on your home. You could be working on buying a home here. It could be all these different things. But it looks great. It looks great. So maybe the Oracle cards are just for a few. And this is going to be for the other Scorpios here where, hey, I feel like everything is good. Great. Perfect. Very nice. Very, very nice. In future conditions, the Star. Thank you, Scorpio. And again, going back to pray, if you're not dealing with somebody in particular, it could be just the way that you've been praying on yourself, and beating yourself up, right? But this is not something you need to continue doing anymore. And yeah, very true. With the full moon in Capricorn, a tough cycle is coming to an end, right? The Star being in future conditions, hope, healing, having hope restored, hope in a new beginning here, healing issues possibly within the family, healing issues having to do with finances, seeing the bigger picture, your hopes and dreams on a very big scale here, and having this opportunity right in front of you. It's perfect. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling. So your best path to follow is the Three of Swords here. Forgiveness, right? And it shows with the Star. If you want to create a new opportunity, if you want to create more love in your life, if you want to have a new beginning here, and you feel like you're coming from a place of stability or, wanting to have something that is long lasting and you're willing to start putting in the effort into this now, we got to get past where there has been separation, heartbreak, disappointment, all of those difficult emotions that come along with the Three of Swords. And it may be that you just need to stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about the things that have, broke your heart, right? Letting it go, releasing yourself from it, releasing other people from it, Again, if something's not working out, rip up the fucking contract. But you're looking at a much, much better beginning. A much, much better beginning. Well, I feel like just going, whew, thank you. Like everything is being lifted off of me. I feel like crap. I sound like poop, but damn it, there is a part of me that feels like, yes, thank you. Thank you. Right? I have been busting my ass and yay, right? It's about time. But this is for all of us, right? We need to take advantage of new opportunities. One of the things I talk about with the aces too is aces are great, but they don't mean a fucking thing if you're not going to do something with it. But again, it starts with forgiving and releasing. Oh yeah. Okay. The Knight of Wands. So that being in your environment can definitely be talking about you wanting to go after a passion here, having definitely some financial backing with the Ten of Pentacles, which is great. So you may be able to follow a new passion here, realize a dream on a much bigger scale with the Star. having passion restored and renewed into a project, work, something that you've been putting a lot of effort into, possibly traveling, right, with the Knight of Wands. But I like it. I don't think that we're talking about something that, just kind of like shows up in your life and then leaves, because you wouldn't be moving into the Star. Now, I mean, yeah, it could be that, a passion kind of like moves on, and there may be a need to do some healing because it's not exactly a happy situation. But I think that this is directly tied to everything else that you've experienced, everything that you've been working hard to get past, right? Because this to me looks like, a renewal in a passion and an ability now to follow that. Your hopes and your fears, the Fool, right? I want a new life. I want a new path. I want to be able to have faith. I want to be able to jump with this. And I like it, right? You need to be the Fool. You need to have the clear soul, the clean slate, being able to jump headfirst into that Ace of Cups, right? But again, there are some things that need to be released, healed, forgiven, right? Let go of. You're coming from a place where in your practical world, in your materialistic world, there is stability. There is security. You need to find that passion, right? You need to find the passion to go after the things that you want, even if they're big, big dreams here with the Star, and you need to have faith, right? Don't fear that you're taking a risk, because the Fool, I mean, yeah, we can feel like we're taking a huge risk here. We're not really looking at, what we may have to deal with, right? Not seeing the danger in front of us, so to speak, which is why we've got, always the dog going, hey, dummy, right? Do you not see the fucking cliff? But we choose not to see that because we're ready for a new experience. I think that that's what a lot of you are hoping for right now, but also fearing that, you may fall flat on your face. And then coming out, the Queen of Wands. Oh, Scorpio, I love your reading. Love it. Yes. So if you are embodying the Queen of Wands here, coming out in future conditions, again, passion being restored, right? Being able to make things happen, feeling good about yourself. Being more active, putting yourself out there. In terms of work, this is being put in a position where, like, I see her as the manager, having freedom of movement, creative freedom in work, right? But getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are, wanting you to see them. They may be coming to you for advice, things like that, right? But attracting a lot of new things. But I think that you look good, right? And becoming like a superstar. And here's the thing, in terms of like big business or, boss figures, things like that, with the Emperor and then looking at the Hierophant, right? This is possibly something from the past that's returning here. It may have to do with a business opportunity that, there's like a commitment or contract being made, something like that, right? But I also look at this as, if you're becoming the Queen of Wands here, and there is more passion, more drive, feeling good about yourself, being enthusiastic about things. With the Six of Cups, we're going back to, the past. Now, this could be about a person, though, from the past that may be coming back up with the Emperor, right? Possibly Aries, and that could be where we're dealing with a fire sign that at some point in the past made you feel really good. And lo and behold, here they are again, right? This may be somebody that you have worked with, Now, if we're not talking about a person, we're going back to the past. We're kicking ourselves in the ass, putting in the hard effort again, and remembering, how good we felt about the hard work we were doing, right? And leading into a place here where we're more in control and being in a position of power. But we're also talking about, taking initiative here, being the self-starter with the Emperor. But again, control and order out of chaos. But it opens the door for you to have some freedom here where you get to follow passions, right? That hard work is paying off. And then with the Hierophant, besides dealing with commitments, I also look at this as now we have an understanding of the personal commitments that we've made to ourselves, But I also look at this as, the spiritual grounding, right? This may be you seeking out spiritual understanding, especially with the Ace of Cups, that, or, you may be in a position where you are giving spiritual understanding and grounding to someone else. But again, we could be talking about like a big, big commitment that is being made here. Traditional values also comes up with this. If we're talking about a relationship here and hope being restored and there being a new beginning with somebody, this is somebody who is very important here with the Emperor, right? And again, there could be like the age difference there, but there's that passion big time with the Queen of Wands. But, regardless here, I look at the Hierophant coming out and you having a better understanding of all the difficult things that you have been through. And coming from a place of being spiritually whole again, especially with that Ace of Cups being there. But making a stronger commitment, sticking with traditional values, the things that you know that work for you. But also like strengthening the commitment that you've made from the past here to continue this hard work. It all looks really good. All of it looks really good, Scorpio. The only thing that you need to do is let go of whatever is hurting you or whatever has hurt you. Forgive yourself, forgive others, release it, let it go, tear up the fucking contract, right? So important. Be grateful. Be grateful for even the smallest things. Be grateful that you have a toothbrush, right? Be grateful that you have a bed to sleep in. Be grateful for that bottle of shampoo that you really like, right? Just the simple things. You start there and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, but there is going to be a reason to be grateful, I think, when you just let go, right? Just surrender. Just be in your place within the universe right now. You are exactly where you need to be. You don't need to control anything. And whatever kind of pain that you've experienced, just surrender, let it go, right? Literally washing it off of you with the star. And then be grateful, right? But I feel like once you let go, there are going to be so many more things to be grateful for. Act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. A lot of people get this. And I think for those of you who are single, when we're talking about whispers of love, it's about how to attract the love that you want. So if you don't have a partner, you have to act as if that partner is there with you, right? Make space in your closet, make space in your bed. Now, if you are already partnered, if your partner is not with you, you need to make sure that you still consider them with everything that you do. And then miracles and blessings, everything has its gift. Perfect. It's perfect, right? Miracles and blessings that may be coming to you in terms of love when you start acting like you have that perfect person with you, right? Like I always tell people, if you're single and you want to be in a relationship, start getting specific about what kind of person you want to be involved with. How do they look? What do they look like? How do they act? What is their personality like, right? Think about all those things, and don't settle. Don't settle for anything less than the partner that you want, right? And then you have these miracles and blessings show up. I love it. I was scared as hell getting into this, but we're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And all of those difficult things that we've experienced, that long ass cycle of dealing with tough circumstances is definitely coming to a close.